Yeah, hi. Um, I always have something to say. For a long time, I kept thinking that 1,000 had to do something with God, and uh, and uh, and maybe it did. It meant the four sections, the man of four, right? For the thousands of years, the first number means something, the second number means something, the third number, the fourth number, they all mean something. 1963, the year I was born, to 2010, to the rejuvenation of everything. And I'm being touched all over. I'm not alone in here. There's something going on all around me right now. My arms are frizzled. There's ghosts, there's shadows, there's dust, there's lights that shouldn't be, and then they are, and they look like beehives. You see those two lights behind us? They look like that thing you pick up to get the honey, you know? The honey or the money. So anyways, I always thought of 1,000. So I saw a license plate, 928. 9 is for the cycle. From 0 to 9 makes 10, which means it's finished. So a 10 is starting over, and that's why it's .net, because on Earth, when you start over, if it's not .com from the universe, it's .net. T-E-N, 10, N-E-T, net. The net worth of everything is 10, because everything starts over on the net. Net is 10, 10 is net. The 8 is the actual F, okay, of the best of all images, because don't forget, whatever you think, you're either thinking it is the right thing or the wrong thing, so you have to think about the two roads. So now you have two sides, so that's why the 8, that's made from the F for the path, because they're the two of them that attach it a different way in the road, just in case it gets knocked off center, it'll still be connected. So that's the F in the road. That's the center of the road. So therefore, the 8 of eternity that we thought was eternity is actually the eternity of the key, eternal key of the connection to the I world. So you know that the 8 is not everything, but it is everything. Because if you take a digital clock and put everything on top of each other, it comes back to the 8. When it's the 9 that will bring on the whole story. Because you have 9 innings in a game. But in this game God plays with the kids, he plays t-ball to make it a little easier. So the ball is always in the same place. You just have to use your eye, your arms, your mind for the total direction. That way when you hit, that way when you think about swinging, your thought will be that the ball doesn't move. What do I have to do to get the bat to the ball? Is in between you and your arms. You discuss it with them. They're two. So you discuss it with the two of them, like you discuss the world you're in alone with the two of us, God and the angel. Those are your arms. On one side it's God, he's right, and on the angel he's left, but no one is wrong, and you don't even have that arm. You don't even have the third arm, but you're wrong when you choose with your mind, and your mind is the third arm, because when you extend your mind, you can tell many stories as Pinocchio's nose grew. The story of Pinocchio is the extension of the mind. So you have a third arm with the mind. Because if you go to court and you swear to tell the truth, you end up in jail. But they put your mind in jail and your body in jail for something that somebody else did. You didn't even kill anybody, but you lied. And the lie is terrible, because the angel says, if you lie, I will not accept any messages. And I don't want you to come back. Because I know all your stories are lies, so whatever story you have to tell me after might make all the difference if I see the difference, or it may make no difference at all. I'll decide on that. You decided on everything else for the last 60 years you were there. I had to watch you every day. Hey God, you know my son? I let my finger go again. I put my hands in the wrong spot. So putting your hands in the wrong spot, or the leash around the neck of the dog, and the spot is the dog of the 101 Dalmatians, 101, on one side of the 0 or the other. The distance is the same, 101, the 101 Dalmatians, the reason for the existence of that, the black and white of Cruella, because there's a lot of things that are cruel, and if you look the way she dressed with the red and the white and the black, well, the red was the man, the blood had to flow. And, well, she told everybody, I'm a pure cow. Yet she was so thin, so she wasn't a cow at all. And what milk did she have? Was the milk she stole. Because she had no money, and that was the milk she needed. So she took everybody else's that had value, and that's why she took the dogs. Because at first the dogs had all the value because we were dogs in the first world. We were all dogs. We had leashes. Now we have laces. We were the cats and the dogs, and now it just rains them. Now we keep them in our house and we lock them up. And sometimes we feel funny, we want them to roam free. And when they roam free and they run in the middle of the road, it was their decision, but it was our fault. Just like we come from the angel, it was your decision to let us come here, but if we get killed, it's our fault. Maturity. I love you all, man. Start loving my videos and save yourself. You know what it means to go to the second dimension and to the party? You can drink all you want. You don't get drunk up there. You float. Everybody wants to float. Everybody wants to get high. So let's go there naturally. Why fuck up our bodies? We need that to live here in the G-world. Come to the party. The Galactica party in 2012 begins. It starts slowly, but it may last long. I'm not sure. It may last as long as the vacation stays. And when vacation stays, you may as well party at the Galactica ball. Because gala is a gala wherever it is. Because it's not in the Antarctic and it's in the other side of the universe. You call it Galactica. Like Star Wars. And if you turn around the stars backwards, we can do the same like we did with man. Star backwards is rats. So if all the stars were rats, the party would be terrible. Everybody would be liars. You wouldn't trust anybody. And the wars would be raw. Is the nudity on Earth. Again, the three X's who struck out in the first time because they were the cats who had all the tails. Who came to be the dog who stuck in the pound. Who came to be the man in the Vietnam. NAM, which is man backwards. 1967, Montreal, where they had the big invention. They called it Terre des Hommes, Man and His World. And if you remember the book, Terre des Hommes and Homme de Terre is Jesus. He's the man in his world. And in 1967, he was here, or he began, or the thought of him coming back was going to be, because 33 years after 1967 made the year of 2000. The why of the 2 and the K in the deck of the cards, like what's going on? Because there's something going on. Why 2000? Well, because obviously Y2K is from the 2 to the K, and we don't talk about the angels, because they're the ace of everything on the on the roulette table. If you look in the center, you put the ball, which is the eye, and when you turn it around, the ball stays there, one spot. It's only when you throw the ball on the outside of the circle and turn the inside of the circle and the 2 direction with the thrust of everything that moves in the circle of the universe. And since the ball is not strong enough and the speed is less than anything, the impact will not change anything. So the ball will be okay and it'll fall in a hole. It'll fall in a rut. Any rut will do. They're all the same, but one of the ruts has a number. And if you bet on that number, you get paid off. And that's what it's all about. We all want to get paid off. And I want to pay you off with my example of what I know. Do you want to know how I know this? Invite me to sit down, because how I know is a longer story than what everything's all about. Because how I figured it all out is the whole story of the history, including my family, which is the past history, and including the history of the now. What will ever be in the future I hope to take with me, but I'll take what I got now, and whatever comes later, if I'm good with it, I'll stick to it and keep it with me too. To my angel who wants only the love and the story, because you can't get any rentals of bids, which is empty, D's, which go up, full of O's. There is no videos up there. Because everything repeats anyway, so you're going to do the same thing one time. And there's so much time that before it repeats, and you never forget, when you do remember, you say, oh, it's been a long time. Because it's going to be that long before you repeat something. Unless you make it happen yourself, and then it happens, and then it repeats. And it does the same thing down here. So that's why you feel lucky, and it repeats, because you were good when you were lucky. And when we're lucky and we feel good, we're good to others. So if we were true in all our heart, we just don't do it for the money, then the goodness and the luck will last. But if you lie to yourself and you do good for another, for the reason for your own heart, because the joy is for you, because you've got to pay somebody off to express what happened to you for your joy, well, that's not true. So that luck ends. And the luck ends on both sides, so that is the bookends of the story. Luck ends, bookends. That's how we have the bookends of stories, and that's how things stand up. You see, with every building that comes down, the dust falls on top of each other because it looks like dust and it's really small as a particle. Well, that particle is a bigger story than you know. But you only have eyes to see what God let you see in this e-world, so that's what you see. So when people look at the computer world of 101, they see something else, but they see something that they know how to correct. And I see something in all the words, because it's easier to see words and talk about the words. And everybody gets mad about certain words, so I know I have a feeling towards the words because of what everybody else thought about them. What makes us to think the way we do? What puts us in any direction? And what made God help me to find what I needed, to help me find what I needed, what He wanted us to find, how He became who He was. He wanted us to be able to do this. That way we can be the king in our world, and the K of the MK, man and king, as one becomes the king. Therefore I am no longer the jack, I become the ace king of clubs. Because I'm the king, and turn me sideways, I have the best of all connections. Stand up the tower of the ace on top of me, on top of my arms that stick out, that you can't miss, and I am in Paris. And that's why they built that, for the ace king that stands up as the highest and best connection anywhere. And everybody said, when you lean the four legs on the outside of every standing building, the balance will be better on all four legs. The two legs the man stand on, and the two arms they use, which can be used as legs at some point if they're pulling and pushing or kicking or hitting. So you understand the way it works? It all works in accordance. Because when accordion goes, you go to dance. Accordance, accord, d'accord, okay with everybody else, okay with me. The runway is clear, ready for takeoff. It's getting closer now. We have 1 minute to 3. It's going to be perfect for me. This means 21 hours for the man who has just turned because of the knowledge right now. He knows he is the ace king of clubs for his 3 hearts. Winning over the heart of God makes the 4 hearts. And it takes 4 hearts, 1 for each leg and 1 for each arm, squaring off the man so the block that rolls over does not roll away. So he is a block, and a block stand on all sides. Ace, king, and man are a block, so no matter how you push him, maybe if you stretch him out and have the extra stretch, maybe he can look like an ace himself. Therefore, no matter how he's pushed, if you don't push him in the right position, he'll never fall over. Thus, the ace, the king, that is a king that was once a jack, can look like his angel. Therefore, the angel can look at himself because there are no mirrors in the heavens. So what the king does is he stretches himself out, and he stretches himself out, and he stretches himself up, and he pushes his feet outside the way they are, not in a walking position anymore. Therefore, stretching himself out into an ace, like a rocket ship, standing up and ready to go on the platform. 2 rocket ships have 2 engines, and he looks like the other ace. They look at each other. It's a spitting image. Who's spitting now except the fire that comes out the bottom because they're strong as shit? They're the best pair you can ever have. Who's better than having the truth, looking in the mirror and facing the truth? Because you are the truth. And when you know they're the truth and the angel believes in you, he'll see you as himself. And he won't know who he's looking at except for looking at himself. So when he looks at himself, he knows he's not looking at a liar. Therefore, he automatically has a friend. You got a set of aces. What do you call them? Everybody calls them the Starship Enterprise. Because the best you can have when you want to go is the Starship. And who better to hang on to when you're the man, but looking like one of the stars? Hang on to the angel of the star, who knows the ways for the ride, and he'll take you all over the universe in speeds you've never seen before. You'll see things you've never seen before. You'll see things you'll never want to see before. You'll see things you'll never see before. But see all the 4 sides of the story, and regardless of what you see again, as long as you understand the 4 sides, then all it is, you'll be happy.